The topic we are going to see is server array. It is under module 4. Super global arrays are the built-in variables which is always available in all scopes, and the server is a PHP super global variable which holds information about the headers, paths, and script locations. The example below shows how to use some of the elements in server, and inside this is a delimiters of PHP, like we have used PHP self and server name, HTTP host, and reference region and script name. So these are the names we are using in server array concept. And when we're talking about this referrer, it gives complete information of the URL, and we'll see one by one. And self, it returns the file name of the currently executing script. So gateway interface, yeah, so it returns the version of common gateway interface the server is using. So everything is under version, and self is like the currently used script. And address, it returns the IP address of the host server, and server name, it returns the name of the host server, like any domains you can use. And server software, it returns the server identification string like Apache Tomcat 2.2.4 or any other software like Glassfish. So it helps to enable the communication over the HTTP protocol. And we already know that it is a stateless one, and it can't hold the information on the server side, so that it can, by using these kind of identification strings, we can return those things, like we can use versions and under like this. And server protocol, it returns the name and revision of version of information protocol, HTTP 1.1 and all those things. Now HTTP 5 is the most important new version of HTTP, and previously we already saw that HTTP 4.01 is the latest version. And when we're talking about this HTTP 5 and all, it is designed to uh, deliver almost everything whatever you want in online without adding any kind of additional plugins. And you can make use of if you want to go for, if you want to convert like something like animation to app or music to movies, and you can also run those kind of these versions, you can work under complicated applications also. And request method, so request method, it returns the request method used to access the page, like post method, it just gives it just send the requested object, send back to the browser along with the requested content. And requested time, so it returns the timestamp of the start of your request, like the numbers which is place. And query string, so it returns a query string if the page is accessed through the query string. When we're talking about this query string, if you just type anything, if you want to search in Google search, so in that it will access the character string, a long character string. It is a kind of mixing of numbers and letters, which is accessed at the end of the URL page. So afterwards, what will happen? Some kind of language called JavaScript. It just letter of the data from the server, and from the server, it just move to the specified path. And HTTP accept, it returns the accept header from the current request. And HTTP accept caps, and it returns this from the current request, like UTF-8 ISO 88591. And HTTP referral, it returns a complete URL of the current page, and it is not reliable because not all user agents support it. Because in this we can by using the get and post method, any method, by using these two methods only, we can send request, and we can send the response. And so why? Because there is no secure transaction, secure information. All the sensitive information may get hacked, so that it's not reliable, because not all your user agents can support this. Because it returns a complete URL of the current page, so it is visible to all the users, so that this may sometimes will get delayed. And HTTPs, script query through a secure HTTP protocol. So by using this HTTPs, you can get a secure HTTP protocol. And remote address, so it returns the IP address from where the user is viewing the current page. We can find out the specified path, that for example, if you want, if our information, if it is in the temporary directory, then we can current page of the information which is there, and for that purpose we need to know where the location is at, and we need to know the specified path of that particular address. This is the remote address. It can return the IP address so that we can easily identify the location where it has been placed. And remote host, it returns the host the user is viewing the current page. So this is also an important topic under this server. And remote port, when we're talking about this remote port, it returns the port being used on the user machine to communicate with the web server. How we can be enable how it can enable over the HTTP protocol and all. And script file name, so it returns absolute path name of the currently executing script, so that without knowing the absolute path name, we can't find out the current script and all. Current running script we won't find out. So that it is we have to return those absolute URLs to the specified server. And server admin, it returns the value given to the server admin directive in a web server configuration file. If your script runs on a virtual host, it will be the value defined for the virtual host. And server port, it returns the port on the server machine being used by the web server for 80. And server signature, it returns the server version and virtual host name which is added to the server generated pages. And path translated, so how we can for example, if the information saved in the temporary directory file system, that how it happens, like user just opens the page and to click the browser, and he's uploading the files, and from the local machine or any PC, and afterwards he can send to the server. And server has server, what he's do, he just saved, and he does his job by saving the information, and he stored and server stored in some kind of temporary directory. And after that, what will happen, we need to move the file temporary directory to the designated destination host, so that you can use this path translator. It returns the file system base path to the current script. We can make move to the current script. And script name, it returns the path of the current. And script URL, so it returns the URL of your current page. By using this script, you can find out the path.